Chris McCabe, head men's basketball coach, Liberty North. And as I sit here today, we are 2 possessions and about 21 seconds from being 3-3 and 1-0 in conference. But I wish that was the case. Instead, we're 1-5 and 0-1 in conference. You guys televised the game last Tuesday. I'm sure your viewers enjoyed watching it because it was a fun game to watch if you're a fan and you're not rooting for the Eagles. But we blew one late to Summit Christian Academy last Tuesday. Ended up losing by 3 to them, 63-60. Came back on Friday, went to Cameron and played a pretty solid Cameron team, and they're a team that has played together. They're a team that is really fundamental, really disciplined, and we fought like crazy. Ended up losing by 10, 50-40. And then last night, Monday night, we opened our conference season, suburban conference season at Grandview High School. Grandview led by as many as 6. We led by as many as 8. 8 lead changes, 11 ties. But ultimately, they hit a shot with 1.5 to go to give them the final lead, 56-54. And that's what they ended up finishing with. So our guys are fighting like crazy. Our guys are doing all the right things. You know, you're 1-5 on the year. You feel like you should be 3-3, but you know, like we tell them, we wish that was the case. It's not, and we can either whine about it and complain about it or go and try to fix it. So we're going to fix it. We're going to get it right. We've got a good group to do that with, and we'll see where we end up. We got a busy week still. Finals approaching for our guys, which is obviously important for them to do well on. There's some stress there, and then we go on the road Thursday to Smithville, and then we're Saturday morning, we're in the Hy-Vee shootout. So it doesn't get any easier. We don't have any time to feel sorry for ourselves. We won't, and we'll just keep working at it and trying to get this thing turned around. But really proud of the guys, really proud of their efforts and what they're trying to do to make this thing right. With that, open it up to all your guys' questions.
Coach, how do you feel your team prepared for last night's game?
How do we prepare for last night's game? Well, I felt like we prepared well. Up until 2 minutes to go, 2:20 on the clock, it's 54-48. We're in the lead, we're up 6. We haven't made any plays that go against what we told our guys they needed to do to win. We were solid, we were tough. We were the aggressive team for 30 minutes. The problem is they don't turn the lights off after 30 minutes. They turn them off after 32, and we didn't play the last 2 minutes. But they prepared like crazy. You know this, but they work like all heck. I mean, they show up every day, and they're coachable, and they do what we ask. And we want to win. There's no doubt that, you know, it hurts, but the main reason why it hurts us so much as a staff is our guys are doing the right things. They're doing everything they're asked, they're doing everything they're supposed to, and then we just have a lapse for a minute or two, and ultimately it costs us the game. And so we've just got to show how much every single possession matters. And once we figure that out, hopefully these sick feelings that we have after 1 possession, 2 possession games can change, and we can start winning those. Right.
What do you feel you need to work on coming into future games?
What do we need to work on? I mean, you know, I think you can work on finishing games, and you know, we've let 2 now slip away. Games that when we look back on it, just after the fact, but then especially after you watch the tape and break it down, games that we feel like we should have won. So, you know, I think we need to spend time working through how to finish a game, how to play with the lead, how to make plays down the stretch, and you know, how much of that is just experience and just guys learning and not making the same mistakes. You know, I think we're learning that as we go too, because we've had guys not make the same mistakes, so it shows you that they are improving. But you know, we got to work on finishing games. We got to work on finding ways to win. And that comes with time. But you know, as far as you know, our toughness and the things that we want to build our program on, our guys have been really solid with. we've got, and this is not a self-serving, this is a very program thing, that we've got some great compliments from some very respected people. Cameron's coach has been successful, and he wrote a really nice letter to us after we played them on Friday. Really nice letter, sound like I'm 80. He wrote an email to us. About our team and about our identity and about what we're doing, and that meant a lot. And you know, we're doing the right things. So as far as what we got to work on, we just got to work on getting over that hump. You know, we're so close, but close doesn't really mean much.
Do you think the lack of senior leadership showing on the court?
You know, I've been around basketball for not a long time, but my entire life. And I always thought senior leadership was overrated. I don't anymore. Grandview had a kid last night who I think is the best player we've played all year, who is a senior. And he's a senior that 2 years ago was on the team that goes to Columbia and plays in the state championship game. As a sophomore, he plays some solid minutes for him. He's a junior last year on a team for Grandview that transitions and kind of goes through some things. So he's been through it, and he was the difference. So, a slap in the face, a wake-up call. Yeah, I mean, not having senior leadership, yeah, but that's no excuse for our juniors and for our sophomores to not step up and take those leadership roles. And you watch the tape and you watch what he did to us late. I mean, that kid single-handedly said, my team's not going to lose the game. And he got the ball, and he scored the ball. And he played defense and got the ball and stole the ball from us. And he was the difference in the game, and he's a senior, and he's been through it. And he knows what it takes. With that being said, if our guys can see that and improve as sophomores and juniors, then when they're juniors, and then especially when they're seniors, they could take on that role too, and then hopefully we can eliminate the feeling we have. So I think it's a really good question, and I think it's something that we have to continue to emphasize to our guys, that even though senior leadership is important and we don't have any, then junior leadership and sophomore leadership is just as important.
What's going to be the biggest challenge for you guys against Smithville this week?
Biggest challenge against Smithville? You know, I would say bouncing back from a tough loss, but our guys have been awesome about doing that so far. Smithville's good. They play to an identity. They want to play tough. They want to play physical. They're patient, want to throw the ball inside. And that's very similar to what we want to do. I think our biggest challenge against Smithville is being consistent for 32 minutes. If you take segments of our season and put together 32 minutes from, 4 minutes from this game, 12 minutes from here, and put together, I mean, we're pretty darn good. But then you add up all the minutes and you look at stretches, and we're the worst team in America. So I mean, it just goes back and forth. But I think that we are getting so much closer to playing a full game. We complain to our guys, and we're getting on them because they only play basically a half against Summit Christian Tuesday night, the game you guys. And then we go to Cameron, and we didn't play well in the second half, the first 6-8 minutes. So we played for 24 minutes, and last night we played for all but 2 minutes. So at some point, right, we got to play 32 minutes. I mean, I'm hoping that's the case at least, and so hopefully that's Thursday against them, and hopefully that could give our guys that confidence that what you're doing's right. You can be successful with it. You will be successful with it. Yeah.
Who would you say were some key players for North last night?
Key players last night for North. Well, Garrett Lowe was good for us last night. Garrett's been struggling, and I think it's because, I don't know if you guys know Garrett, but when you're around him, I don't think there's any kid that ever wants to do better. Or contribute more, or be more correct, or be like Garrett wants to do the right thing all the time, and he was struggling early, and I think he was putting pressure on himself. And last night, he relaxed.